Hi! Today we're doing the 5-10 solving fractions equation video! Yay!
So, like I just said just a second ago, today we're going to be solving fraction equations. So the first thing that you need to remember from other math lessons is that in algebraic equations, what you always have to do, for example, 3x equals 12, is you always have to get the letter alone. So you have to, in this case, you divide by 3, and x would equal 4. So we're going to keep that in mind when we do today's lesson. So the first kind of problem we're going to look at is 3/4 z is equal to 12. So what you need to do is get this z alone. So what you need to do is, remember, to cancel out this 3/4, we would use the reciprocal, because 3/4 times something is equal to 1, and that would cancel out and put z alone. So we're going to use the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply by the reciprocal here to get that z alone. So what we're going to do is times 4/3. And what happens then is the 3's cross out and the 4's cross out, and now that z is alone. But if we do it to one side, what do we have to do?
Do it to the other side.
That was a bit excessive. Times 4/3. Now we have, I'm going to make some space, 12 times 4/3 is equal to z. And we can do a little bit of crossing out. Divide this by 3, divide this by 3, and we would get 4. So it would be 4 times 4, so it would be 16 is equal to z. So that's all there is to it. Multiply by the reciprocal and do it to the other side. So I'm going to have, the other thing that might happen is you might just get a problem like this. 4n equals 3/5. Well, we know that all we have to do, if you're multiplying n by 4, so you just divide by 4. Now, if you divide on one side, you have to divide it on the other side. So divided by 4. Now, that's where our other thing comes in handy. So we're going to divide, so that means we're going to keep the 3/5, switch this to multiplication, and then we're going to flip 4, because 4 over 1 is 4, so we're going to flip it. So it's going to become 1/4. Then we'll multiply across, and we get 3/20. And that's our answer.
Stop looking at me.
I'm going to have a student show you the next problem. The next problem is 2/3 x is equal to 5. So the first thing Jackson's doing this problem, the first thing he's going to do is multiply by that reciprocal, which would be what, Jackson?
3 seconds.
3/2.
Mess it up.
You're right. And then that'll cross out the other ones, because you can use your cross multiplication, your little cross outs there. And then if you do it to one side, you have to do it to another. So you're going to take it times 3/2. You can make that 5 into a fraction. What's 5 as a fraction? It would be 5 over 1. So now you can multiply across, and he would get 15/2, and then he would turn that into a mixed number, which would be 7 1/2.
Voila!
So the next problem would be 4/5 a is equal to 1. Now you have to get that a alone, so you would multiply it by 5/4, because what would happen is that would cross out, and that would leave that a all alone. If you do it to one side, you have to do it to another. So that 1 is a 1 over 1, and then we would multiply it times 5/4, and that would just be 5/4, and so that would equal 1 1/4. Alright, this last problem I'm going to have you do for homework. The last problem is 3/10 x equals 9. And this is from your assignment tomorrow. So I want you to solve this for tomorrow.
See ya.